Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 16th to the 31st, 2025 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my websites, danehartguidedmessages.com or daneharttarot.com. They're listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Taurus, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Oh, I like that. I like that at the center. I don't know if you guys got a peek. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Perfect. Okay, give me a moment to take it all in. All right, Taurus. At the center of it all, for the last half of July, is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of wealth, prosperity, success. It's seeds to be planted, harvests to be had. And this is especially potent for earth sign energies, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So those areas, your sun, right, is in Taurus or wherever it may be that you're here watching this video, right? But also wherever you have earth sign energy in your chart, you are planting seeds. New things are growing, new ideas are coming forward. And these are seeds of wins, of prosperity, of success, of bounty. And things are starting to really kind of take form in your mind. It might not be coming to fruition right away, right? Because seeds take time to grow. But my gosh, are you having these great ideas, great plans, great insight coming your way? And it's like you have the Midas touch right now, and that is really cool. It moves us then to the challenge, and the challenge is very interesting that it is the Magician. So the Magician automatically takes all the gifts that are given, right? So we can be having a bit of difficulty taking this gift of prosperity, seeing ourselves as prosperous. We can be having a bit of difficulty believing in our own magic, our own determination, our own fire, our own focus, our own minds, our own hearts, everything we can be questioning or thinking, I don't know if I'm doing it right. The Magician stands before the altar of their existence and claims what is theirs. It is time for us to claim what is ours, even though our knees are a little bit wobbly. We're a little bit shaky on, can I actually do this? We're scared, we're overwhelmed. So here, the Magician is coming in, and it is our challenge during this time to know that as above, so below, as I believe it, so it becomes. And for a master manifester like you, Taurus, what you believe, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are right. And that is going to be amplified during this time. So just be aware of that. It moves us then to where we need to focus. This is the Five of Swords. We need to know that there can be underlying issues of things that we're picking up on, right? We are champions, or things can feel rather civil, when we talk to somebody, but there's underlying things that we're like, oh, okay, this isn't what I want. This is giving me a bit of a headache. So just be aware of that. The Five of Swords is that you're not the same person that you once were, but we can fall into those old patterns, those old traps, those old ways of looking at things and seeing ourselves. That Spirit is saying, hey, be mindful about this. Also with the Five of Swords, this is claiming our victories and not thinking, oh, now what do I have to worry about? And that can also be part of the issue with the Magician. It's like, well, if I do this, it'll bring me a whole nother set of problems, a whole bunch more to have to take care of and have to worry about. But you can do it. Know that you can, because you can. You can absolutely have this harvest coming forward. I'm just picturing rows and rows of apple trees, right, being planted and sprouting up and bearing fruit. It's an abundance. It moves us then to what is leaving. And this is the Tower. And I love that for you. I love that for you, Taurus, that the Tower is leaving. It is like, okay, listen, you've stayed, you've visited for way too long, as a Tower time usually does. It usually feels like it can go on forever, even if it's just a few days. We're done with it, or a few hours even. I'm done with this. The Tower time is over. It is time to let it go. And it can be hard because it can be so intense, and it forged us so well, so powerfully. And now it is time to let it go. And that is going to be very important. It forged us. It created us, right? It's how we learn to deal with adversity is through Tower times. And a forging is never easy, right? You stick that metal into burning hot fire, right? It hammers out by the smith, and it is created, it is folded, and it is heated, and it is folded, and it is made, it is cooled. It is a process where the sword could shatter whilst you are making it and have to start again. And that's what life is. The Tower is the intensity of life and how things fall apart and rebuild in ways that we've never imagined they could or they would. And so a Tower time can be beneficial. It can be something we never want to see again, but it is an intensity, and it shows us our own intensity. It moves us then to our crowning energy during this time and our strength. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, we have such positive cards, right? And we have the Tower coming in, and now the seasons have changed, and it doesn't have to be bad, right? We have a season of planting and of preparing for harvest coming in. And so the Wheel of Fortune is to embrace this time that has changed, the way things have shifted. And it brings us then to, of course it does, to the sun, the polar opposites right here, the dark of the Tower and the brightness of the sun coming forward. And the sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. It's happiness, it's prosperity, it's success, it's bounty, it's abundance. It's of course I can. Of course I can. And that's the energy that you're stepping into. And I love that for you, Taurus. I love that there is the sense of, I can do anything. I've got this. I am powerful. I am determined. I am focused. I am breaking down barriers, opening up doors in ways that just astound yourself, but astound those around you. It's like, I didn't think you could do it. And then there's this energy here with advice, and it's the Knight of Wands. It's moving forward in fire, in focus. It is going after what it is that you want. Knights don't sit still. So there can be this energy during this time, and amplified, especially if you have ADHD or anything like that, where it's like, I can't sit still. I have to keep moving. I have to keep going. I have to keep trying this and looking at that. And what about this? And what about that? So the advice is to embrace your passions, to embrace what you are fiery about. Be mindful, though, that when fire sign energy does come in, we can be a little bit too fiery, right? Tempers can rise, just as when earth sign energy comes in, we can be a little bit too stubborn. Water sign energy comes in, we can be too emotional. And air sign energy comes in, we can overthink, overanalyze. So just be aware of this coming forward, during this time that fire and passion are going to play a huge part. We need our grounding earth energy, not to be like, okay, boring now, let's move on, boring now, let's move on, because that can also be something that the Knight of Wands brings us, where it's like, okay, I like the fire, I like the excitement, I like the challenge, but as soon as it becomes a bit mundane, a bit predictable, it's like, okay, gotta move, gotta go. It moves us then to the environment, and this is the Four of Wands. This is an environment of celebration, but this is also an environment of what you love best and what you want most. Yes, it can also mean, moving house, new job opportunities, all these big changes coming forward and signs of success. But how often does that happen? Whenever we see the Four of Wands, it can be these big things, but it is also the little things, and it's the little things that make up life. And so with the Four of Wands, there's celebration, there's success, there's prosperity, there's joy, but there's also a sense of like, I'm loving my life. I'm loving, being here right now on this earthly plane, and it's moving me forward. And so there's this energy of like, turn on the radio, dance in the kitchen, have a fun time, let laughter come in, clear out the clutter, clear out the mess that is the chaos of life, and embrace the joy of it all. Embrace that energy vibration of celebration. It moves us then to our hopes and our fears. And this is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is overthinking, overanalyzing. I'm not surprised to see this here at all, because we can get a little bit too much in our own heads, kind of think who we were when everything was falling apart, or if we've had multiple tower times that seem to have run into each other, or been doing this since we were 16, where it's been one chaos after another with just little strips of calm coming in. There's an energy shift here, most definitely. The Wheel of Fortune is like, seasons have changed. It is time to celebrate. It's time for joy and prosperity and success. The Eight of Swords, though, is being trapped in your own mind. It is being trapped, and it's overthinking, it's overanalyzing, but it's always thinking you're wrong and always thinking you're less. So stop. Which sounds arrogant to say. It does sound arrogant when Spirit said that. So stop. It's like, it's not that easy. But we as human beings, we make things very, very complicated. And Spirit wants us to see things very simply. Stop. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop being angry at yourself. Stop, saying, oh, when this is perfect, when that is perfect, I have to do this, I have to do that. No. Start planting those seeds and watch everything grow. Believe in your magic. Believe in you. Because the fear is that the Eight of Swords will always stay. You will never be good enough. You will never achieve your goals. You will always be almost there. But the hope is to break those bonds, to see that nothing is binding us but our own mind, and to move forward as free as a bird. And it brings us then to the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is the outcome of this time. Deeper knowledge, deeper understanding. It is connecting with the spiritual. This partnership of the Magician and the High Priestess, this is an esoteric spiritual partnership that is astounding, right? It is so bountiful. It is so beautiful. And if we connect these two, oh my gosh, do we have power beyond imagining? So just knowing that there's this soulmate connection coming through with the spiritual, with the esoteric, with the connection of it all, even if you're simply using the earth as this connection, you can have a hard time, as sometimes I do. It can be a hard time believing in higher powers. Like, everything works out for the good, right? Everything has a reason. You can see all the pain, all the suffering. But can you believe in a tree, right? People do horrible things to each other, but can you believe in a tree? And the way it purifies the air, the way its roots go deep. And sometimes rewording things and giving yourself that knowledge is very, very freeing. The veil is being lifted. We're seeing things a little bit more openly, a little bit more honestly. For some of us, it can be a lot more openly, a lot more honesty. That can be intense. Show yourself grace. Intensity, empowerment, insight is coming your way. You're stepping into a role of wisdom, of a wise one. And you'll find that people ask for your guidance during this time. You can offer it, absolutely. But don't get too much in your own head. And take those guiding words that you give to others, those kind words that you give to others, say them to yourself, because you need to hear them, Taurus. It moves us then, because you have so much here. And when the the Eight of Swords comes up, we can all just throw it away. Every single one of us. Whenever the Eight of Swords comes up, it's like we get too much in our own head, we get too much in our own space, our own way, and we can just throw away all the blessings. So do be mindful about that. Let's see here what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. This is the Heron. It says, let go of connections. Let go of convention. There we go. And follow your own unique path. And you're going to see that something happens where you have to take a moment. You have to look at it more deeply, right? I had to take a moment and say, that's not connections. But it is also what Spirit is saying here. Like, let go of connections and follow your own path. Let go of what no longer fits and isn't you, and start moving forward. It brings us then, because there's a fear here of like spreading your wings and letting yourself fly, of letting yourself truly embrace what it is that you want. And once you do, you're going to find, oh, I'm unstoppable. Like, I should have done this forever ago. Then you can get in your own head and get mad at yourself. But no, it's the perfect time. Everything happens in divine timing. And that is a very hard thing to understand. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Or maybe not to understand, but to implement in our lives. And this is listening. This is the third chakra. In a world full of everybody talking and talking, it is time to listen, to quiet it down and center ourselves and listen, because that becomes a superpower. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. And this is the Eight of Wands. Be mindful that this time period can seem like it goes very, very fast, but we can always want it to go faster. Move more, do more, move more, everything like that. Slow it down. Slow it down. It's going to go fast enough. And you're going to find like you want it to slow down. So slow you down. That's going to be important. It moves us then to the subconscious spirit message. And this is the white eagle. The connection to divine guidance is within you. And that's what the magician and the high priestess are saying. Trust your inner self. Trust your inner guidance. You want things to be a little bit too concrete. That's part of an earth sign way, right? Trust that intuition. Trust that guidance to open up doors. It moves us then to the subconscious chakra message. And this is grounding. This is the earth star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. This is grounding ourselves. This is, rooting our energy. And so Taurus, what Spirit is saying is have a firm foundation. Put those roots in and let the seeds be planted, especially with the seeds being planted at the center of it all. Put those roots down, put that energy in, and watch yourself grow. The energy to be mindful of here, subconsciously, is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, it's funny because the Eight of Wands is everything moving so fast, right? And the Seven of Pentacles is like, hey, have patience. But we're very impatient, and that makes perfect sense. There is also this sense of things draining us, things overwhelming us that we have to look at. What is taking away our energy, our time, and our power? That others say, oh my gosh, that's so great, or they think like, oh, that's so good, but you're spread too thin and it's too overwhelming. So do be mindful about that. Something does have to give during this time. You are going to let something go. It's like, I just don't want it. It moves us then to the subconscious tarot message. And this, I love this for you, is the 10 of Pentacles. This is wealth, prosperity, success, bounty, abundance, but it's shared with so many. It's not that you're just going to be successful. You are thriving. And it is sharing it with community, family, friends. It is opening up the doors. It doesn't mean you give them money, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be supporting everything and everyone and doing everything, all right? What it means is that subconsciously you're opening up the door and life is thriving. And you might not see it yet, but it is coming in. And it can be that you're like that wise person that helps people to thrive, right? By giving them space to grow and understand. But it is also that sense of, this is my passion. This is what I want. These are my dreams. And I'm not throwing them away because somebody said so, or because, I feel like I ran out of time for it. Because I'm hearing like I'm too old. I always hear that with everything, with people. Like, I'm too old. It's not going to happen to me. I can't possibly. Stop it. Stop being in your own head and letting everybody else's words take over. It's time to embrace your dreams. And yeah, if it's like to be a Cowboys cheerleader, you have to be a certain age and, a certain way. Sure, it can be that ran out of time, but that training could have given you whole other ideas and whole other set of skills that people find useful and powerful and really value. So just look at it like that. That's going to be very important, because some things, yeah, I mean, Spirit just said, like, some things do, like, you can't always be a cowboy cheerleader, right? You could have always have been, but you know what I'm saying. So just be aware of that. Like, be aware of what you want, but also make it fit into your world now, instead of you trying to fit that dream that once was. Because there's so much in this world that there are endless possibilities. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time, and of you, Taurus. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed last half of July and a blessed life. Bye.